guys, so let's jump right into the look. So we're going to be using these brushes today. I got these over the weekend for my birthday, so if you missed my birthday, put a happy birthday down in the comments. So to get started with this look, we're going to be using my Juvia's Place palette, and this is going to be a very like soft but bold look. I wanted to kind of like transition into fall, but I still want to keep it somewhat summery. I don't know. I was going in between like a berry and still bright like yellow. So to get started with my transitional color, I always go in with a light brown shade. So I picked this one. It's almost like skin tone tan look. So I'm blending that into my brow bone, in between my brow bone and my crease. So that's going to be the transition for my colors. And I'm using a more tapered, fluffier brush. And so far I'm liking these brushes. These are really nice, like really good quality, super soft. I mean, I needed some new brushes, so these work perfect, and I'm so happy I got them. So I'm going to be blending in this like tan, more deeper tan shade into my crease, and this is just going to help blend a little bit more. As you can see, that little tan, light tan nude color transitioning into this one is really going to help everything kind of look flawless, and it's just going to help all the colors like blend in together. And I pretty much do this with all my looks. So if you need any references on how to do that, just go to all my different videos and you can see the different color or transitional shades that I choose. So now I'm going in with this more deeper red tone, and I'm just going to blend this in. I didn't know if I wanted to do it like super bold or not. So I decided to go a little softer instead of like bright red. This one kind of have like a berry undertone, like a red berry undertone. It was just enough red. It wasn't too much. And I kind of like, if I'm not sure about a shade, I'll just pick a color that's a little bit lighter, a little bit softer, and then I'll just pack in more color until I get the color that I want. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know like a lot of my looks, I just come up as I'm just doing my makeup. These are not really like planned looks. So when I'm picking out different tones and stuff, I'm really working with like corresponding colors, and then that kind of helps me transition into the full look, and then everything comes together. So right here, I'm just going back in with that same brush, and I just want to blend everything back out, and I just want everything to be like cohesive all the way from the top to the bottom. So using that existing color kind of helps to bring all those colors together, so it's not like blocky. So now I'm going in with my favorite E.LF concealer, Camo Concealer. This shade is the shade Too Light for me, and I decided to use this again. I still haven't found another one that I like, so I'm just going to keep using this one. And this, I'm going to use a very tapered brush. This was not a part of the brush collection that I got. This one is a pre-existing brush that I've pretty much used consistently, and it's just an angle brush, and I'm just going to use this to kind of carve out the type of shape I want, and this will help kind of get the colors to like pop out a little bit. And the only way I can say like a cut crease is meant for, or how to use it, is if you really want those colors to be really crisp and like out there, like it stands out a little bit better. So I'm going back in with my old Abby palette, and I'm going in with a little bit deeper berry. I like the like red undertones in there and kind of like the purple undertones, so I went with a little bit deeper purpley red. I kind of like, I want to say raspberry, but I don't know. I'm not sure like how it's showing up, but it kind of reminds me of like a raspberry tone. Not super purple, but not super red. So I'm using that to like go in an angle and blend out that outer crease. Now I'm going back in with somewhat of a similar tone, and I'm just going to angle that kind of like slanted. This is just going to help kind of create like a shape in a way without really trying too hard. So I'm just using that brush, and I'm just going in an angle from top kind of sideways down towards my inner corner. And I've been doing this type of style lately, and it's just been like really working with my eye shape. And I mean, you can try it out and see if it worked for you. I think this will work with most eye shapes, even if you have like a very small eye. I think it will work. You just have to use maybe a smaller, shorter taper brush. So I'm going in with yellow. I decided I wanted something bright. I haven't done a video in a while, so when I get back into it, I'm just like, let me go crazy. Let me just pick random tones and colors. So I just went with yellow. And I'm just going to put that all over the cut crease area that I put down a concealer at. And I'm just going to pack that in all the way around. This is not my favorite yellow, y'all. It is so powdery. Like, I don't even know. Like, I just have to try a different yellow that I have. Or I have to just, well, I got some new stuff for my birthday. So I'm going to be trying out some yellows in those palettes. And I cannot wait to show you in my next video of these palettes. I might do like a mini review, I don't know, and just show y'all what I got. So here I'm just like bringing that yellow tone up to where that in between the cut crease and my blending that I put down. And it wasn't as yellow as I wanted it to be. And I personally feel like even if I had like a wider base, it still will be like patchy like that. And I just worked with it. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, yellows are so hard to come by unless you're using like a loose pigment, which I don't have any loose yellow pigment. So until I get some, I'm just gonna use what I have, because girl, that's what we do. We work it out. So I'm taking that pre-existing color that I have on my brush, that like raspberry tone, and I'm going to blend that in with the yellow, and that's just going to help it like blend in a little bit better. So now I'm going in with this NYX white liner. I have to say, this was by far the hardest. Like, it was so hard to do. And I don't know if it's the brush or the consistency. I really believe it's the consistency of the white. It's kind of watery, and this was very new. So that's the packaging. So I cut it down shorter because it took me a while. And I don't want you to have to sit there and watch me struggle to get this line perfect, because I'm a perfectionist and it took me a long time. But this is the NYX matte liquid liner, and this is by far my favorite liquid liner. It's very matte, but still it has a little bit of flow. Like, it's not so matte that it's dry. It's still wet when you put it down until it dries, and then it becomes matte. So I just like that I have a little more control over this, and the brush, like the bristles on this brush is just so tapered and thin that I can get the thinnest or the thickest line that I want to create. So I kind of keep going back to this one. And by the way, this was a new liner. So whenever you're using like new liners, it's like the brush and the liquid is just haven't like got together enough yet. Like, it hasn't dried out enough to give it a little more structure. So this one was like a little bit harder because it was brand new. Like, both the white and the black was brand new out the box. So that's why I showed the box. I ended up having the box actually. Normally I just throw the boxes away, but I kept the boxes because they look so similar. So I wanted you to see the difference. So now I'm going in my Lash Paradise in black, and this is just going to coat my lashes underneath just to give a little more coverage. These are the lashes that I'm using. I got these from the beauty supply, and these are just cheap lashes, but I really love these. This is my first time using this brand, and I decided to go with glitter. It's like every time I do a look, I need a little bit of glitter. Like, I need some shine. So I end up just putting that right in the corner of my eye just to kind of like brighten it up a little bit. And I just feel like sparkle is necessary, like especially when you're doing a somewhat of a brighter look. Like, glitter is necessary. So, and I was really feeling it anyway. So, and you know, like, I have a thing for iridescent. If you've noticed in my videos, iridescent is probably my favorite type of glitter. So right here, I'm putting down my primer, and I'm using my E.LF putty primer. I believe that's what it is, or jelly primer. And I'm going to cover up these little spots on my face. I was not happy about it. Like, you know, spots come up, like, and you can't do anything about it. Once they're there, and you just have to just do what you can to fade them over time, which I might do a video just to show how I fade my spots, because I mean it happens to everybody pretty much. So I'm using my color corrector, and I'm just putting just a little bit on those spots, and then I'm going over with my setting powder, and I'm just going to like set that corrector down, and I feel like it gave it a little more control. I normally just put my corrector, then my foundation, and then sometimes it shift and move if you don't let it dry all the way, but this like made it matte and dry almost instantly. So I think I'm going to keep using this technique, and I'll show you in another video again how I did this. I was just trying it out in this video. So now I'm using my Maybelline Super Stay foundation, and I really like this foundation for some reason. Like it works really well, and the craziest part is that the name was like caramel mocha, but that's the number on the bottle. I was kind of confused because I felt like I didn't have too much of a tan, but it worked out, and as you can see, it kind of matched perfectly, and it wasn't too light and it wasn't too dark. Like, it still gave me a lot of color. So I'm using my Real Technique brush, and I've been using this for a good minute, and I just kind of like to use foundation brushes now. I've always been a sponge girl, but once I got this brush, I kind of just stayed with it, and it's been working out. It's making my skin look a little bit better. So, you know, we're going to keep using it till, of course, we find something better. There's always going to be something better to try out. So I'm just going to like pat it down all the way around my face and kind of blend all those lines out until I feel like I got a good coverage, especially over those marks. Man, like that irks me so bad, but you know, we gotta do, right? When it comes to like our skin, it goes haywire. Some days we have really good skin days, some days we don't. So I'm just patting that like extra foundation over the top of those spots just to give a little more coverage. And it don't have to be necessarily super perfect because foundation ends up setting. So long as you have it blended out really well, it'll like, foundation I feel like kind of does its own thing. Like after it dries, it soaks into your skin, it kind of like smooth and balances way out. So I always give it a little bit of time as I'm doing my foundation, not to get it perfect, but just to allow it to dry. So I'm going around my like eye area, not too far up underneath my eye, but just enough where I put my concealer at, where though the foundation and the concealer will blend in together. So now I'm going to be using my Super Stay, Maybelline Super Stay concealer. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but I'll have everything down in the description. And if I miss anything, I always post it on my Instagram, so you can always check me out at Million Beautiful Views there for more details on these looks. So now I'm using the concealer underneath, and I like to like go really deep up on my under eye just to get really good coverage. Not so much on the skin underneath, well, like the area underneath, I really like to get it really close to my waterline, because I feel like you get more coverage. Because at the end of the day, if you have like bags or dark circles, that's the area you really want. It's really not the skin underneath. That's really to highlight your face, but that skin right there by the under eye is the area you want to put the concealer at. So I'm using my Revolution banana powder, going in with my sponge, and I'm just going to set underneath my eye and just kind of get like some of them creases and just make everything kind of matte and stay in place. So at this point, I'm using my regular like foundation powder, and this is the old one. It's the true matte one. That's my favorite so far. I've been using it for like a long time, and I keep going back to it. It makes my skin look good, and it's not very hard to blend. So I'm just going to put that all over my face very lightly, because if I get too powdery, it ends up looking kind of cakey. So now I'm using my Milani blush, and I believe it's the coral blush, and it's really pretty. I end up liking it. This is like maybe my second time using this one, and it's not too bright, not too dull. Like, it has a little shimmer undertone to it. I'm using my Fit Me powder, and I believe this one is in mocha. I end up choosing a little bit darker because I wanted to use this powder as a contour. I really hate like muddy contours, so I chose this one because I felt like the Fit Me, like, it really looks like skin. So I'm going to use this also to contour my nose, and I'm just using a kind of like a flat fluffier brush, and this is just going to help blend out those corners on my nose. And I just really wanted like a chiseled, kind of like tighter nose, so I'm really going in on the sides of my nose and underneath. I want a little boxy look, so now I'm going in with my Fenty Trophy Wife highlighter, and I felt like the gold will go good with the like yellow eye. So of course, highlighting those areas. You have to get the nose. Highlight is very important, just like glitter. So we're gonna make sure that all those points are very highlighted, and so we can look a little sparkly and glowy. So I'm gonna put a little bit of that underneath my brow bone, and I'm gonna go back in and coat the bottom of my lashes with some mascara. A little bit of gloss, and this right here, y'all, was another gift. The Morphy setting spray, just so good. Oh my god, right? Look at that, so pretty. Thank y'all for watching.